guys, it's Kat from Perfectly Imperfect Crafts. I am here to finish up this file folder junk journal that I made. Okay, so this is the cover that we ended up making. It flips out like that. I did stick a couple little extra printables in there, or not printables, pieces of paper in there. I did stitch all the way around it. I don't know how well you can see that. I did not stitch everything down because I left space here for things to slip in and out. So there is the back spine. And I went ahead and made 4 signatures. And this is the order they will go in the book. This book is sold, by the way. And the person who bought it wanted it completely plain. They didn't want anything decorated. So it has just plain white paper in it. And I am going to show you how you put these signatures into this book. So you're going to need a couple things. You're going to need something to poke the holes with. You're going to need a template for your holes that you're going to lay here to be able to draw to make sure your holes are lined up. You're going to need a needle. Sorry about reaching over. And you are going to need some bookbinding thread. Now this is my bookbinding thread in here. And there should be some white. It's not in there. Imagine that. It's the mystery of what Kat did with the bookbinding thread. I don't know. So we are going to use this. It's about the color of the manila folder. And this is waxed linen thread so that it slides through the holes easier. Okay? So the first thing I do when I figure out my measurements is I just measure my spine, and then I create like a template here. And I'm going up here and I'm writing top at the top of where I'm going to poke my holes so that when I put it into my signature, they will all line up. So we're going to open this completely up, and I'm just going to take my ruler and I'm going to use it as a guide for where I'm going to poke my holes so they'll be straight. And all you're doing is punching a hole. And this is a thick piece of the kids' foam, and it just gives my needle some place to go to. So I already drew my lines on there, so I don't really need lines. I just want to have a guide for my holes. And I'm not a measury person. I'm just eyeball where I want them, and then they line up for me. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 holes in each one. Now this, I take this and I fold it. Actually use this most of the time, so I can get a place on here where I can fold my paper so that when I fold it in half, my lines will be in the center of my signatures. Now it doesn't matter with these because there is really no what's the word I'm looking, directional thing, because I don't have any words or anything. It's not printed on there, so I don't have to worry about that part. So I'm going to take my waxed linen thread from the roll, and this is how I measure it. I go from top to bottom. I grab down here at the bottom so I can see how long I want to go again. So that's 2 lengths of the book, and then I go a half on these because this is not a thick spine, so 2.5 will be perfect. Then I take my thread that I've already measured, and I'm going to cut 4 pieces the same size. And when you do this, you want a needle that has a eye that is large enough that you can put it through, but you don't want it so big that it's going to make holes that are gigantic in your signatures. And so here we have the 4th one. Put that out of the way. By the way, sorry about the lighting in my room. I can't help it. I had the needle. Did anybody see where I put it? So this one has kind of a big eye on it, but it is my favorite needle because I can actually grip it. Let's see, what else is in here? This one's a little bit smaller. Let's see. I think it actually has a bigger head on it. So we're going to go with the one I like. Okay. So what you're going to do is thread your needle like so and leave an edge hanging over. Then when you have this inserted, you can see where I wrote top, you're going to take it and line it up and then poke through those same holes that you already made in the book when you did your spine. That's why we folded the same piece of paper so you would have the same lines. And then you're going to take your thread and you're going to start in a middle hole. And you're going to let the cover fly off. You're going to go through there, bring it up through your spine, and then you're going to go down. Oops, I'm out. And then you're going to bring it into the hole from the back side here that we made before. And then you're going to go through this top hole, and you're going to bring it in this way. And this one is easy to sew because it is such a thin material. It's just file folder with a little bit of fabric. And then you're going to bring it I bring it all the way through. And then I find my hole and put my needle back through. Okay, that's all you need the needle for that signature. And then you're going to make sure you have one set of threads on each side. And if this happens to you, where you accidentally get your thread going through thread, then you have to take it back out and try to reinsert it into that middle. So there we have one knot. We're going to make a double knot here. Just really does go quite fast once you figure out the procedure for it. So there we have one sewn in signature ready to go. Let me see if I can find me a paper clip here. Make this a little easier. And we'll put one over here. That'll just keep those two pieces in where we want them at. So you grab your second signature, make sure you're in the middle. Some people paper clip these. I do not. Put my thing in there, my little template. Find my little tool, poke my holes, so you can do it that way. Down and then thread our needle, And it's very quick work. I don't know what I just did, but that went crooked. Okay, try that again. Remember, it's just paper. It's not like you're performing surgery on someone. It's paper. So it's all fixable. Through the middle. Down to your next hole here. Sometimes it likes to move on you, and that's why they like to hold them down, but yeah, that just takes too much time for me. If I'm doing a big book where I have 10 or more signatures or something, yes, I do that. But for these little books, no. Pull it through. So I didn't leave a short enough thing there, so I got to figure out which side of this thread is the short side. Okay. Make my tail again. Bring it back through the middle into that same hole. You can do it either way, which way you want. I just showed you one. So I pulled it all the way through the first time and then put it through. Or you can do like I just did there. And you're going to pull your thread tight so that there's no give in it. Check your back and tie it off. Make a double knot. And then trim your... You can go back and you can add something to these strings. I sometimes put butterflies. Sometimes I put little mini tags that I've made. It's just however you want to do it. Third signature. Like I said, it goes really quick when you're... once you get used to it. When you can get the papers open, that is. Center your little template in the book. And because these are not huge signatures, it's easier to work with. I can't, or won't anymore, I should say. I can, but I won't work with signatures with more than 10 to 12 pages. I prefer 6 to 8. It's just easier to work with. Thread my needle. And the reason you write top is, see, these holes are not the same width apart, so you know which one goes to the top of your book. Just through the center. And that one didn't want to go in there, right? Sometimes the cardstock, when you use cardstock in your books, tries to rip because it's not as forgiving, I don't think, as lighter weight paper. So pull that through. And we'll go back into the center hole. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I don't want to zoom in because that makes it difficult sometimes to tell what I'm doing. Hold it open, put your needle through, and pull it through. Make sure you pull it tight. Tie your knot. And this is like a triple, whoops, dropped my needle. Which is surprising, I've only done once today. Okay, and our last signature, do the same thing. Line the top. Don't mind my desk. Line it up. Poker holes. And this tool that I'm using is called a bead reamer. And I think I paid like $1.79 for it. I think you can get them online. It's made by Doris. So put my thread on this needle. And here we go for the last signature. And through the bottom. And the larger it is to, the larger the amount of pages in it, the harder it is to sew. I know there's some people who put 20 and 25 pages, and I've done that, but it's for me it's harder than this way. So, and I'm not knocking anybody else that does it a different way. To each their own. I just like the littler signatures. There's so many ways, so many videos of how to make junk journals out there. Tie your signatures in. And then you can go back and decorate your pages. So there we have a completed file folder junk journal. Dim that light a little bit. With a double pocket on that side, double pockets on this side, and 4 blank signatures. So I hope you enjoy this product. If you make one, or this project, if you make one, please put it on Facebook or Instagram and tag me in it. And I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.